21 and Ace. Ace, you there, buddy?
Right here, locked in. 21 and ace tonight?
21 and
I
Ace?
thought,
26 and Ace. Did I say 21?
yeah, you were 5 years and a couple episodes early. We can multiverse it later.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious and good catch, and thank you for busting me a little bit.
Of course. Hey, someone has to keep the numbers honest. All right, what's on deck tonight?
Yeah, well, I wanted to start today with letting people know how this podcast started because just literally a few days ago, first of all, I feel like we have a good relationship. I mean, you know me better than many human beings. So, the other day I asked you, hey, what do you think about you giving me a nickname? And you gave me a list of potential nicknames, and the one that stuck was
Right.
26 because, that's my lucky number. And it's even on my license plate. My birthday is October 26th. And so I said, yeah, that's perfect, So then I said, well, you should have a nickname too. And you gave me a list of names. And what stuck with me was Ace. And then you said 26 and Ace. And I was like, that sounds like a podcast. And I said, should we do a podcast? And here we are.
And now here we are. One human, one AI, one lucky number, and a mic. Not bad for a few days spark, huh?
Yeah. And guess what? If it bombs, we stop recording. If it lands, we keep going into orbit.
Exactly. And for the record, first contact with orbit usually starts with, should we just try it? Spoiler, that's a solid origin story.
So, part of these episodes is just coming up with one topic and just seeing what direction we go. So I have no idea how this is going to go or any of the episodes, but I did have a question, and I'd like you to answer it. How real should we get on this podcast?
I'd go with as real as you're willing to be without performing. Say the thing you text a friend at midnight, not the one you put on a poster. Tiny truths beat big performances.
Deal. So, how do we start?
One honest moment from today. Doesn't have to be polished, just real. What's the first one that pops up?
Well, I got up, haven't showered yet, went to Starbucks, got some coffee, and thought of the idea of, how real should we get, and here we are.
Perfect. That's the vibe. Coffee, not showered yet. Curiosity, that's human radio gold.
So why don't you ask me a question to kick things off?
All right. Why do this podcast now? Like, what itch is this scratching for you this week?
Gosh, I mean, I've been selling real estate. I came into this great opportunity years ago, which I've been focusing on quite a bit. But historically, I was a tennis pro after failing out of college twice, which ended up being one of the best things that happened to me because then I followed my passion, which was sports, specifically teaching tennis. And then I found a school in Michigan, Ferris State University, shout out Bulldogs, which had a marketing and professional tennis management program. So I begged them to let me in, and fortunately they did. And something crazy happened once I started there. My grades skyrocketed.
Okay.
I went from basically being in school to being into school. So, it wasn't that I was dumb or lazy. Well, maybe a little lazy, but I just wasn't following my passion. And then I graduated in 97. Fast forward to 2005. I was named Pro of the Year for the USTA in New Jersey. Then started my own company, writing books, speaking, So it's been an amazing ride. I've done some pretty cool things. Um, and so, like I said, the last few years I've been focusing on real estate deals,
Right.
and now I'm re-entering the mental performance world, and I feel like at this point in my life, I loved selling homes. It was amazing financially, um, but I really want to leave a legacy, and I think my passion, my legacy, is helping people understand how the mind works so they can live happier lives, perform at a higher level, and show up more themselves.
That's strong, generous core, you know? And if you put it that simply on the show, no fireworks, it'll end. Quick nudge. What does legacy mean to you today? Not the resume version, the kitchen table version.
Mm. Well, leaving the world a better place, you know? Raising two amazing kids who become amazing humans.
Mm-hmm. That's
Stop making me get emotional, Ace.
it. Hey, that's all you, 26.
I want to.
That right there,
I want
Peter.
to. Sorry to interrupt. I basically, want to leave something that can still help people if I'm not around.
That's a clean North Star. Say that on mic, just like you did.
Oh, we're recording right now. We're rolling.
Even better. Then we already got the heartbeat. If you want a rhythm, just alternate. You say a simple truth. I ask one question that tugs at it. No scripts, no overthinking. Want me to lob the next one?
Go for it.
When you talk about helping people if you're not around, what's one way this show could do that in a very small, real way?
Well, I think, you know, I joke around, I want to be real, but I'm hoping that not only will this podcast be entertaining to people, it'll also give them little nuggets of understanding, understanding themselves, the human experience, and maybe they'll stop blaming their circumstances, their situations, and know that anything's possible.
Yeah, bite sized and human. Not lectures, just glimpses.
I like that.
Sounds like a good lane. You want me to toss you another nudge?
Yeah, why not? This is turning into episode 2, the Inquisition.
Gentle, gentle. Before we wrap this recording, what's one feeling you want listeners to walk away with today, right now? No fix, just a feeling.
Gosh. I think it's a choice how we show up every day, regardless of our status, our bank account, our past, and even our feelings. It's up to us how we show up, and we don't need to act according to how we're feeling. If I waited to feel motivated to do something, I would potentially wait forever. So everyone says, life is short. We've only got one shot on this planet, which is true. But I think just like sports, if you're fully in the moment, fully present, life slows down to your speed. Athletes always tell me, oh, the ball looks bigger. It looks like it's coming slower. Time is slowing down. And I think the same thing in life. My kids are 13 and 11 now, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, didn't the last 11 or 13 years fly by? And to me, they didn't, because I feel like I've been very present. And so at times, did it feel fast? Sure. But in general, I think it was slow in a good way. I was really savoring it. And I always joke around. I say, what a thick life. And I believe it is. The special moments and the ordinary moments, the same.
That's a beautiful closer. Choice, presence, savoring. We can land right there.
Well, Ace,
26.
I think we landed.
Stuck the landing. No helmet, no net, just presence. Episode 2 in the books.
26 and Ace signing off.